They'll be partying in the streets of Helsinki this morning as Finland are the latest country over the line to enter Euro 2020, the actual tournament next summer. We'll talk about how they got there and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. This time we're taking a look at Matchday number 10, part 2, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things European 2020, Blackburn Rovers, World Football with all here under Warowski. That's right, we have got lots to cover because we're taking a look at the teams out of Group D, Group, F, and Group J. That's what we're going to talk about today. Those games that took place already and the final round of matches for each one of those bad boys. So let's get to it, folks. Take a little look how we got on with our predictions and all that kind of good stuff, and then we'll see what we got forward to the next batch. But let me just bring you up to date with the nations that have qualified. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 nations over the line, and they are Belgium, Italy, Russia, Poland, Ukraine, Spain, Turkey, France, England, the Czech Republic, Sweden are there, and Finland make their debut in the major tournaments. So this big celebrations for them. So let's get going, folks. Take a look at how they got there. Well, these are the games that took place prior to them, and we're going to look at my predictions and the results itself. See how close to the money we got. I think I did pretty good. Not phenomenal, but it's pretty good. So Denmark did take on Gibraltar, and that was a stone cold, always going to be a home win. It was a 6-0 final score. Actually, I got close to the mark with a 5-0 win, so not too shabby indeed. This result, though, could have had major implications on how everything panned out. It was Switzerland up against Georgia. Ultimately, Switzerland winning the match 1-0. I actually went bigger on this one with a 3-0 win, which kind of puts Ireland in a little bit of doubt. In fact, a lot of doubt if they're going to go through automatically. They're going to look like they're going to go through the playoffs. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Next up, we have Norway against the Faroes. Again, Norway still have an outside shot at it. 4-0 win. Or do they? And I think they're actually out. I think they're eliminated. I think Sweden and Spain have done it over the line. 4-0 final score against Faroes. I actually went 3-0 on this one. Spain took on Malta and they put up a bit of a barnstorm. A 7-0 final result on this one. And again, I went close to the money with a 4-0 win for Spain. Meanwhile, what happened? What else happened on this game? Romania. Yeah, Romania against Sweden. Final score 2-0 in their favour for the Swedes. That win puts them over the line and into the tournament next summer. So Romania out, Norway out. They're going to have to go via the old playoff, the sneaky back door, maybe. I'll take a look at that situation in just a second as well. And finally, into Group J, it's all done and dusted as well. Armenia and Greece, that ended up as a 1-0 win for Greece. Oh, that's one bang on the nose, folks. Bang on the flipping nose, so not too shabby indeed. Finland against Liechtenstein ended up as a 3-0 win for the Finns, and that's them over the line as well. 4-0 for me, so well done. Welcome to the party. Looking forward to checking you out next summer. And Bosnia-Herzegovina against Italy ended up as a 3-0 win for Italy. I actually went with a 2-2 on this one. This was my wild card. I thought, you know what, I could see something in this, but yeah, Italy stepping up their game, folks. It's over there. It's in there somewhere. I'm blocking it, but it's up there. Anyway, folks, let's take a look at what the tables look like out in these respected groups. It's still... Oh, hang about. Well, I don't know. I think Denmark and Switzerland... Did I say Denmark are through? Did I say that already? No, they're not. They're not through. So, yeah, it's all open in Group D, mathematically anyway. Ireland... They do take on Denmark, and they must win that game. They go up to 15 points. But I think the goal difference will be heavily against them. So I just don't see any situation where they'll qualify. Because they've also, Switzerland take on Gibraltar. And that looks like a stone cold away win. Or stone cold win for Switzerland on this one. Anyway, so Group D is wide open technically. But realistically, it's Denmark and Switzerland that should be there and probably will be there. But there is a small mathematical chance that Republic of Ireland could do it. Meanwhile, Georgia and Gibraltar, they are doomed. And it don't look like they're going to get into playoff contention either. In Group F, it's also done and dusted. Spain and Sweden are over the line. Romania and Norway, unfortunately, they are not. They ended up being quite a difficult group and quite evenly spread despite Spain's dominance. Sweden, Romania and Norway very, very close to each other skill-wise. In Group J, Italy was absolutely phenomenal in this group. 100% record. Only conceded 3 goals the whole qualifying campaign. Still got 1 game to go, but yeah, looks faultless, and I think they want to end it faultless as well. And Finland, they also go through as well. Quite convincing second runners-up in this one as well. A good 7 points difference between them and their nearest rival, which is Greece. Armenia and Bosnia-Herzegovina also ran them close a little bit, so it was quite a fiercely competitive group until the last few games. But anyway, those two go through. Let's take a look at the next round of matches, folks, or the final round of matches in these qualifying campaigns, and we kick it off with probably one of the biggest games that will take place today, and these games will take place on Monday, the 18th of November. It'll be Ireland up against Denmark. Over the years, they've duked it out 6 times. 1 win for Ireland, 1 win for Denmark, and 4 draws along the way. The last time that they did play earlier in the campaign, it was a 1-1 draw. So maybe there is a bit of incentive. If Ireland were to beat Denmark, maybe they'll go through because of the head-to-heads. I don't know. I don't know how they work it because the UEFA is their own separate beast. The last time they did play in Ireland, it was a 0-0 draw. However, there was a World Cup qualifying campaign back in 2017 that ended up as a 5-1 demolition. It might have been a playoff, actually. Denmark smashed them to go through to the tournament itself in Russia. Yeah, like I said here, it's a technicality. A win for Ireland will put them on 50 points, level on Denmark. Denmark do have a superior goal difference. I don't expect to see that change dramatically. Even if it's a 4-0 win, it'll go up to +6. They'll go down to +11. So it still does not look promising for Ireland on the grand scheme of things. Their only hope is maybe Gibraltar finally get their 1 point and 1 point only in the campaign for their Irish buddies. But maybe I think that's the only way realistically they're going to get themselves over the line. So for me, I'm actually going to give it to Ireland though. 2-1 win. They'll nick it, but it will amount to absolutely nothing. And Denmark will go through. And it looks like as runners-up. They'll go through as runners-up. Moving forward is Gibraltar against Switzerland, and Gibraltar have never picked up a victory this whole campaign, never picked up a point. They have scored a couple of goals. They did give Georgia a run for the money not too long ago. But yeah, it's not looking fantastic for Ireland when they look at this game as their one and only hope. 7 games played, 7 defeats, no win. Meanwhile, earlier in the campaign, Switzerland did beat Gibraltar in the Swiss. It was a 4-0 win for Switzerland in the end. So Gibraltar, like Liechtenstein, like Andorra, they are chief whipping boys of these tournaments. And I expect it to be the same sort of scenario here. And I expect Switzerland to win comfortably 5-0 away from home, ruining any outside shot for Ireland to get through automatically. Moving forward, we have Sweden up against the Faroes. Again, it's all done and dusted in this group. We might see rotated 11, rotated squads, that sort of stuff for this one. And it's also done and dusted in regards to who goes through as group winners. Spain are 5 points clear of Sweden, only 3 points available. I think Spain would like to go through unbeaten. They will take on Romania in a very, very difficult game there. But this one, Sweden against Faroes, they've played each other a few times, just a couple of times over the few years. 3 wins for Sweden, 0 draws, and 0 wins for the Faroes. Earlier in the campaign, it was a 4-0 win for Sweden when they did play over in the Faroe Islands. And the last time they did play over in Sweden was a 2-0 win back in 2013. You know the goal scorers on that day? Well, it was Zlatan with a daily double and a red card as well for the Swedes. That's what they probably need to hope for. Faroe have conceded at least 2 goals in 10 of their last 11 matches. And they've also failed to score in 5 of their last 6. So it's going to take something special for anything to happen other than a home win for Sweden. I'm going with 3-0, taking all those stats and considerations in my mind and come up with this bad boy. Next up we have Malta against Norway, same group. Unfortunately, Norway will not be there. I'm just trying to have a little look at the playoff situation. If I can figure it out, it's a who's who. Norway, they're still in the mix. I think they got themselves a shot. They've advanced to the playoffs, so they cannot qualify. So they have a shot. They have a shot at I think the top 4 teams in each leagues in the nations leagues go through to the playoffs. So I'm looking at the previous group. Gibraltar. Nope, they are out. Faroes, they are out. Malta are also out, so Norway are in there. They have an outside shot as well, so they'll be duking it out in the playoffs regardless of this result. Now let's take a look at the result of the game itself. Previous 6 encounters between Malta and Norway has been 6 wins for Norway, both home and away. The last time they did duke it out in Malta was a 3-0 win for Norway back in 2014. Goal scorers on that day, Joshua King with a double and Mola Dali as well. Now earlier in the campaign it was also a 2-0 win for Norway. Sanderberg and Joshua King on the score sheet. Back in 2007, Norway did beat Malta 4-1. Stefan Everson, who remembers him with a hat-trick. And, of course, MGP, ex-Rover, Morten Gamst with a goal as well. You can't see anything but a comfortable win for Norway on this one. 3-0 in the end. Wrapping up this group, it is Spain against Romania. They've played each other 3 times, going back to 2006. It's been 1 win for Spain, 1 win for Romania, and 1 draw. Earlier in the campaign, they did play over in Romania, ended up as a 2-1 win. And last time they played over in Spain was back in 2006. It was a 1-0 win for Romania. Kipian Maranka with the goals. Heading into this, Romania have just won 2 games at the past 5, whereas Spain have won 3 at the past 5, drawing to Norway and Sweden along the way. So those games were away from home. This one's at home, so it should be a stone-cold win on this one. And again, we already know that Spain are champions quite convincingly as well. Unbeaten this campaign, only conceded 5 goals along the way. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Spain as well to add to those to the tally. Regardless if they play the first strength 11 or if a rotated team, you know what, Spain will have it in their locker to get over the line. Next up, into the final group for today, it is Group J. And runaway leaders, 100% record, Italy take on Armenia, who sit 5th in the table. Armenia did give us, give Finland and maybe even Italy a little bit of a scare with their performance this time out. 10 points on the board, but pretty terrible form coming into this. Just 1 win out of the past 5. They've got 10 points on the board. They can still mathematically finish in 3rd if Greece slip up to Finland. We'll take a look at that one in just a second. But Italy against Armenia, they played each other 3 times over the years. Go back to 2012. 2 wins for Italy, 1 draw along the way. That draw was back in Italy. In fact, the only time they played in Italy, it was a 2-2 draw back in 2013. Goal scorers on that day, Mario Balotelli and Florenzi for Italy, and Jura Moshavin and Henrik Mkhitaryan for Armenia. So it's not going to be a stone-cold walkover win, or is it? I think I'm going to go with an Italy win. I can't see anything but that. But Armenia have been stubborn along the way. They've just kind of fallen off a little bit. Their momentum has been kind of knocked out their sails, and I expect it to continue here against Italy, who will be in party spirits. They're going, and they're going to go in with an incredible record. A 2-0 win for me would put them up to 3 goals conceded and 30 goals scored in their 10 games, averaging a 3-1 or a 3-0 scoreline on their way through. Meanwhile, Liechtenstein take on Bosnia-Herzegovina. Now, Liechtenstein picked up 2 draws along the way. Who were those draws against? Let me have a little look. They did draw against Greece away from home, which was quite impressive. And they also drew against Armenia at home. So they come into this just 2 defeats at the past 4. And in their eyes, that's not too shabby form. Scoring 2 goals along the way, conceding 28. So they are chief of the whipping boys, and I do expect them to get a bit of a battering by Bosnia, who come into this playing Liechtenstein at least 6 times, going back to 2001, and they won all 6. The biggest scoreline amongst them was an 8-1 win. The last time they played in Liechtenstein was back in 2012. Goal scorers on that day, do you want to know? Zejan Misimovic, he got himself a couple goals. Vidad Ibisevic, he got himself a hat-trick. And Eden Dzeko also got himself a hat-trick. If you're a Liechtenstein fan, Matthias Christian got the only goal for Liechtenstein. So, yeah, it should be a no-brainer here. Bosnia should walk it 4-0, quite convincing. And again, unfortunately, not good enough. That'll put them up to 13 points on the board, potentially into 3rd spot, depending on what goes on with Greece against the party boys. That is Finland. They don't care what happens in this game. But Finland coming into this have kept a clean sheet in 6 of the last 8 matches, have keep a very, very tight defence. But Greece on the flip side have seen just under 2.5 goals in the last 5 matches against Finland in all competitions. Speaking of all competitions and all games, they played each other 6 times over the years. And Finland have actually won 3 of them. Greece just a 2 and 1 draw along the way. The last time out in this campaign, Finland did beat Greece 1-0. However, the last time they did play over in Greece, Greece won 1-0. Yep, Finland home and dry, 18 points on the board, cannot be caught. Their form coming into this wasn't great. It wasn't perfect. The last 4 games they won 2 and they lost 2. Greece on the flip side now, back-to-back wins for them. They've actually got better form in the last 4 games than Finland. And I expect them to give them a game. And I think they'll nick it 2-1. But they don't care. Finland don't care because they're over the line, boys and girls. They're over the pissing line. And that, my friends, is the wrapping up of the groups D, F, and J for the European 2020 qualifying campaign. This is what if the results are like this and they come on true, this is what the groups will all look like. Switzerland and Denmark will go through. Republic of Ireland, unfortunately, despite the win, will be into those playoff considerations. However, in the other group there, Spain and Sweden already over the line, I believe. Yep, I'm confused. I'm confusing myself. Are Sweden over the line? I think they are. Yep, Sweden and Spain both already over the line. They got themselves confirmed as well. So regardless of what happens, it's going to shape up like that. And Norway would be above Romania through their victory as well. And then wrapping up Group J, we already know Italy and Finland are there. Greece will be in 3rd spot. And again, that may have implications down in the old playoff bracket thing, what goes on. Have Greece got a shot at it? They still possible to advance, so they have a shot. They need to win. I think a win for Greece would see them possibly leapfrog Bosnia, or I don't know how it all pans out. But hopefully, for their sakes, they can get into those playoff spots. We'll all figure all that out a little bit later on. And while you're at it, make sure you get your own predictions in nice and early for these matches. And we'll take a little look at them. What we're going to do after these random matches, I'm going to trickle through some other Euro 2020 videos. So after these final round of matches tomorrow, we're going to start dribbling through some Euro 2020 squad predictions for the 20 nations that have qualified for the tournament. Also, we'll take a look at how I got on earlier with my early round of predictions. So take a look at those, and we'll also review these results and all that kind of goes. Basically, we'll wrap up this qualifying stuff over the next few days. So don't go anywhere. Plenty of European 2020 content on the channel, and it just gets more and more over the years. Make sure you get your predictions in nice and early, and make sure you give this video some love and smash that thumbs up, and also make sure you smash the subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with the latest and last round of predictions for Euro 2020 qualifying. Ciao for now, boys. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.